Or one of my beers. I created them.
Created them?
You made a beer?
I actually made several songs, but this one was.
You're always making songs.
Oh yeah, no, I was really in a dark place and getting emotional as all get outs, and I'm like, I was allowing myself to be verbal with my emotions. No, that's not who I am. And I'm like, oh, this is not good, because of me being emotional with my emotions, I'm an angry person. So like, I've learned to deal with my anger by writing and singing and just doing stuff. So if I start verbally getting emotional and abusive, like. I realize
don't hurt other people in your process of doing
exactly.
it. Learn to articulate it,
exactly.
write it down, and then do it.
That's what I've had to learn to do, because I am an angry person and I have that problem.
Yeah,
so if I don't write, I start letting it out into like the world.
I see exactly what he's saying, right? It's like, instead of hurting other people, write it down. Really think it through, and then you'll have a very thorough plan of how to hurt other people.
Right. I mean, no.
Really get to the deep meat of the
no. So like, what I do instead is I write what I feel, even if it's directed towards somebody. They'll never read it because it's like I'll write it in a song form, and most of the time you won't even know it's about somebody. That's I guess the way I write. But nonetheless, I started realizing I was getting really emotional into my feels, and someone at work was like, "What's the matter, James?" And that's what made me register. I'm starting to be weird because I was getting angry at work. I'm starting to kind of get like,
oh, you made it like a parent,
yeah. And then I was like, you know what? So I went home that night, took a long bath, and pulled out my phone and just wrote songs.
Yeah.
Like I spent 2 hours.
It'll manifest itself somewhere else.
Exactly.
If it's not gonna come out like in anger and with emotional, like with some sort of physical issue, altercation, or anything,
it'll come out. It's just verbally times. And it's like, so like I want to change that. Yeah, exactly.
Keep somewhere else.
Keep channeling into my writing.
Yeah.
And so I seriously sat in the bath for 2.5 hours maybe and just wrote songs.
Felt nice and pretty.
Yeah, dude. My feet hurt. No, my feet hurt when I got on the
Did you ever work at Soundforce when our feet, like your feet would just literally be like white from like
just sweat? Yeah. I mean, my first day there was 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I've never worked at a job for 24 hours straight ever in my life until that day.
Either. I've never done that.
Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Bad thing? Well, we're not gonna stop. Is it cat? Cat. Oh, there it is. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Their thing. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the Bear Thing Show. I hope you have a good day. I feel trapped. Safe.
Oh, you can just throw that one.
Yeah, just throw it however you wish.
Thank you.
In my head,
that's not necessarily what I meant, but
in my head, I literally saw you about to fail and just stopped on it.
I would have probably been like, wow, Fraser, thanks. Thankfully, I have this one.
It's like, well, I'm glad I did just buy
it. I would have rather that be caught on film, though, if he was going to stomp my guitar. I'd rather that be on tape.
You gotta break my guitar, hold on.
At least let us.
Yeah, at least have it on film. We don't even do film anymore. What am I talking about?
Wait, you don't go into the darkroom and develop stuff?
No, not really.
I have that in my closet. Why are you doing that?
No, now I just push a button on that thing and it digitally stores it.
You're using 8 millimeters?
Yeah, dog.
What?
Dude,
I don't need a darkroom anymore. I'm just like,
8 mm's.
Just
yeah, overexpose it. Dude. Just print it.
I don't need to see the people that are in there.
No, print it. Give it.
Just print it.
Just print it.
Did you
see? Just take the film, take the negatives, put it on a printer, and print it.
Print that bad boy.
No.
That would immediately ruin all. Well, I mean, just opening up film immediately ruins it. But like to think that it's like you have something that's fine, and then you're like, I'm gonna put it in a printer and push print, and the light just zoom gone.
It's like, wow.
I'd love to have someone puts that in a black
room. I would
room.
love to see the picture of that. Right? Is it just a white sheet thing that comes out with some like
dark
border
room?
outline?
The dark room. A dark room where you only can use blue light.
Or like the red light? Red room?
It's a dark room.
It's red light.
it's a neon light. That's the thing. UV. It's gotta be UV.
Nah, it's red light. Oh, wait, red light.
I don't know. It's just red. Yeah.
I've never seen any other color but red.
It is red. I don't know if it's not UV. I don't think.
Oh well, I'm colorblind. I thought it was purple.
No, it's a red light.
I mean, even then, I don't know if it could be UV light.
Yeah, like I still don't know if you're wrong on the aspect of UV or not.
I just know
I've only been in one dark room before.
I've never been in a dark room.
Oh, dude,
I have seen one.
It is intense.
You should.
Wow. That's pretty dark. Can you close that door?
Yeah.
I forgot to
turn off that door.
Yeah.
I keep looking at Bear Thing too in the hall.
Oh, the photo.
Yeah, on the wall.
The painting.
I wanted if you had said that, because all that's going through my head is I like the Bear Thing in the hall, and he's just creeping like. I heard my song.
Well, I mean, I wish he was here, but he's still in Yemen.
Is there like a civil war going on?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's a.
I hear that he may have been the catalyst.
I don't know. He never told me.
Did I tell you that he started a war? War?
Every time I've talked to him, he's always just like, I can't really get into it.
He's always talking about the blood diamonds, though. Like, blood diamonds that he's getting off the black market on the internet. He's like, you remember that?
He doesn't call them blood diamonds.
They are, though.
They are.
He calls them some weird thing.
He just calls them payment.
I was going to say, he calls them some weird thing. Like,
this is my payment. Blood diamonds. You monster.
Look, I mean, he's just doing a job. It's
so
not...
just to inform you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what double IP is. IPA is.
Does that just mean that it was done twice?
What does IP mean?
IPA, it's what you're
Indian
putting in it.
Pale.
Yeah, it's a pale ale. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how can you double IPA?
Double IPA.
It's the same way that you can make double baked lasagna.
Oh, they baked it twice. And it's also a hazy
twice.
You've never had double baked lasagna? Your sister makes double baked lasagna. That was the first person who ever made double baked lasagna in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was just an only life for me.
Was the old Lanes. Old Lanes. What, does that tell you how they made it?
No, it's going into some crazy other details.
It says the string keeps rolling along with this hazy double IPA. Aromas of citrusy orange hit first with a caboose full of vanilla and pine notes following,
No, they don't.
which I have not tasted once.
Pine notes?
Pine notes.
Notes.
Notes of pine. Alright, so what?
And vanilla, apparently.
A caboose full of vanilla.
Caboose full, yeah.
That's a lot.
Full.
But the thing is, it says it hits
Aroma, it only has the aroma of citrusy orange.
Yeah, well, let me smell it. I don't believe it.
It smells like... I think Bear Thing smells like this smells like...
The citrus does hit first. And then there's the pine.
I can smell citrus.
Yeah, citrus does hit first, and then there's a caboose of pine. It's right.
No, not caboose. It's supposed to be a caboose of
vanilla.
A vanilla,
I don't smell the
vanilla.
vanilla.
And then the vanilla's in the flavor.
Okay.
Oh,
The citrus, the citrus definitely comes through at first, and then you smell the
Then you hit the pine note.
pine.
The pine notes. Alright, so is the pine note supposed to be in the flavor as well?
I think that's what it is, yeah. I taste the pine, I guess, because of the fucking hops.
Yeah, I mean pine part of the hops, then I guess.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, the whole flavors, but jeez.
Yeah.
Double IPA,
No, I can
really?
see. I can see it.
Double IPA?
I can see them.
I don't know what double. I don't know.
That's what I'm just saying. I'm like, all of that to say this is double IPA.
We rebrewed it. We brewed it and then we brewed it again.
Yeah, but the question is, what makes an IPA exactly an IPA? That's where I'm like, how can you double it if it's just
gravity, bro? Duh.
Gravity. Mm-hmm.
Double the gravity, double the IPA. Duh.
Yeah, they put it in a gravity chamber. Yep, that makes perfect sense.
You ever gone to the gravity chamber?
Nope.
I want to know if like we
I'm
literally.
in a gravity chamber right now.
Like,
I mean, I am.
I mean, if you doubled our Earth's pool, would you be able to walk?
Pool? The pool?
Like, yeah, the gravity.
Oh, I thought you meant the water. I was gonna say we'd be dead if you doubled the Earth's water.
No, yeah, we'd all be dead.
The ocean is a pool.
It's not a pool.
It's like, I mean, I kind of get it.
Like
I
the
can see the
gravitational
extrapolation.
Yeah, the gravitational
So,
pull of
like,
Earth, and then you went to a gravity chamber, right, and just had it to where it has our normal Earth pull, and then an additional, so you doubled that.
Yeah.
Would you be able to walk, or would you just be crushed by the weight of it?
It would be tough.
I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
There's a measurement for that. For sure.
I'm sure there
If
is.
we doubled gravity, we would be straining to stand until our muscles collapse, and then we'd fall.
Yeah, because we're like adjust to it. Say we could adjust to
It
that
would,
gravity.
we would become babies again, in the sense of being like laying on the floor, being like, I gotta build my muscles to be able to start
stronger.
crawling.
Yeah,
well, see, that's my question.
If you have to be doubled in, like
you can jump on Earth's gravity and jump pretty freaking high, right? So,
so would you like just cut your jump height in half?
Yeah, exactly. Would it literally just?
I think it would be more than half, honestly.
Yeah, I think it would be more.
Would you literally be able to like not jump at all, but would you be able to walk?
Yeah, I think you would. No, I think you would literally like double it. You would be like on the ground. Like
you think we would literally just be collapsed?
We wouldn't be crushed though. It wouldn't be. I don't think we would get crushed.
Yeah,
but I think
we would just have a hard time lifting up off the ground.
You would walk into that room. You'd walk into that room. And
it feel like you're always jumping. Like if you were jumping in the elevator, you'd be like this, and then you're already met with the earth because it's pulling gravity.
So then my question then is like,
jumping. So you're feeling like this constantly. Anytime you like.
Yeah, it's not what you're saying at all. And I get what you're saying.
I'm saying this is what it is.
Yeah, like, I get what he's saying.
The gravity would just meet your feet. Like so, you may be trying to jump, but it's like jumping in an elevator. If you jump in an elevator and the elevator's going just as fast as you can jump up, you never actually jump.
Yeah, you never actually leave the elevator floor.
Yeah, you never physically get off the elevator floor.
I'm thinking it might be the same.
If you do, you get off the elevator floor.
I'm
just
saying
very little.
Yeah, some elevators, but I'm saying.
But if you're going down and you jump, that's when it's real fun.
See, now, I think the best way to solve that answer is literally, logically at least, just go to the gym. Double your weight, like your body weight.
Oh, right.
Right?
And then, no,
not you.
You match your weight in weight.
Yes. And then try to walk with that.
Yeah.
Because
that's what it would do.
It would essentially be like double you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a W.
Got it.
Right? Like, wouldn't that be the closest thing that we have to it?
The way I'm trying to explain is what I think it would be like is that, so if we walked from this into a room that is double this, we would walk in and immediately your body would tense up because you are naturally like flexing your muscles, right? You're using your muscles naturally to stand, to sit, to sit up straight, do all this stuff. But that's because they're built
to relax at all points in time.
Yeah, but even relax, some of your muscles
are propping you up, I guess.
Using what?
Damn it, bones and muscles.
So as soon as you step in that, all of a sudden you realize, oh, I've got to actually try hard here.
So maybe you're still able to jump. You're still able to. Maybe if you're able.
What I'm saying though is that you would walk in there before you even tried jumping, before you even did any of that stuff. It would start to wear on you till you get to the point that is like doing resistance training.
Yeah.
To where all of a sudden your muscles are then tearing their fibers, they're overstraining themselves, and then you're on the ground. Because you're like, I can't even stand.
Yeah, if you stayed there too long with the gravity at that point, because it is
So
straight.
it's kind of like if you doubled your weight.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That would make the most logical sense. It's literally doubling your weight and then trying to move around like that the whole time.
Yeah, your body wouldn't be able. You'd be able to do it maybe minimal.
Yeah, you may be able to make a couple steps. Some people probably could do it.
But the thing is,
those people
you
probably
take those people and then you double their weight.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying, then they probably end up just getting ab.
Yeah, it'd be the same problem. Like, cause they could be like, oh, dude, I can pick up my exact weight and walk around, and it's like, okay, now do that. Because
your muscles and everything else that you are saying,
constantly though,
it's just now gonna be like
you're honestly like on the right track because it's saying that like not only would your body be put under a great amount of stress, your extremities would then pull up with blood because
you're flexing essentially just to exist.
Because your body's just working twice as hard to pump.
So it's pumping out more blood than it can actually circulate, which then would start pulling into
it says
might even start bursting blood vessels, which would make sense as you start pulling up blood.
So does this disprove Dragon Ball entirely? All the times that they trained in the hyperbolic
20 times gravity. It's like, you're dead.
Does this just disprove that
I
immediately?
mean, it depends. What's their physiology? They're aliens.
Yeah, it's still good. I mean, it's still good for you. I think that's still good for you as a human.
I think if you did like a half, or not even half of it,
maybe like 1.5.
Yeah. You say 1.5 there.
I would start with a 1.4,
and then like slowly see how that works, and like use that as an actual
gravity. Then work up.
Yeah, go backwards.
Actually, no. Zero gravity would be
muscle deterioration.
Huh?
Oh, muscle deterioration.
You're right. Yeah.
A lot of astronauts suffer from that.
Yeah.
While they're in space for a long period of time,
true.
they're muscle atrophy because you're not using any of it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because if you think of zero gravity, if you just did this the whole time, how is that not using your muscles whatsoever?
I think you're saying there's no resistance.
There's no resistance, yeah.
There's nothing
like, the only resistance you have is literally your own arm.
Isn't that crazy? So we are literally built for this gravity. We're built for this specific type of...
absolutely.
Right. Our baby's built for this environment.
Like, if we put a baby in space...
I feel like they just learned to adapt to it.
No, if we put a baby in space...
They pop out and they're like, what is this weird thing? Maybe that's why they're crying. Like, the earth just feels too heavy.
No, because they're in the moon, they're still
they were already experiencing the pressure. Yeah, no, they're crying because they're not warm anymore.
They were floating in water. And were they really experiencing that? You jumped into the pool and then immediately started sinking to the bottom of the pool.
They're
No, you gotta float.
Experiencing life
Because water buoyancy.
Well, they don't have oxygen in them, so yeah, you would. They're like, our lungs are full, hence the fact we float. Because if you breathe out, that's when you go to the
You guys
bottom.
ever wish you could just go back and experience what Earth feels like?
No,
what
absolutely
what,
not.
Genuinely, what is
I do not want
it painful?
I do not want
It's
to
like, I got in a car accident.
My mother's vagina.
But imagine it. What is the emotion? What is the physical? Like, what's driving me to cry right now? Is
What's
it just
your I get what you're saying. What's your thought process?
What's your thought process? I'm like, I'm in fucking pain. This hurts. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, or is it like, I just need to I need to calibrate, so I'm gonna do all my emotions at once. Go. And that's everything at once.
Wait, so you're saying if you could go back, not actually relive it, but be in your own head,
in your own mind,
your mind now, in your old mind, and just understanding what was going through.
And like, was it painful? Because like, I got in a car accident when I was 6 months old. Don't remember shit. You know what I mean? So maybe it was painful. Maybe birth is really painful for babies because you are coming in, like your bones are just like.
They haven't formed yet. Yeah, they're all mush basically.
They're like mush, but then
so
you also
just
get formed. Yeah,
like
this is kind of like flubbered it.
Flubbered
I
out.
mean, their bones are formed. They're just really bendy.
Yeah, they have all the.
I'm just saying, like,
because your head is in like 6 or 7 plates.
Oh yeah, it's the last thing to fully form. It doesn't fully form until you're like, what was the age? Is it like 20 something? 28.
No, I'm not talking about your brain. I'm talking about your skull.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about your brain either.
He's at 28.
Yeah,
It's
your skull is
the frontal lobe of the brain forms at like 24.
No, but like your skull, like your full
where's
bone structure, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't stop forming.
How old are you?
25.
Then I think it's been formed, so now you're actually starting to use it. So as you get older, you'll get smarter too, because you're starting to use that frontal cortex. That thing that wasn't there all the time.
You guys ever think about how we're like 33% of our life span through, like, if we
sleeping?
No, just living right now. If we live to be 78, 79, the average lifespan of a human, we're about 30 to 40% of the way there.
Okay. You thinking I should go ahead and have a midlife crisis or something?
No.
Okay, because I don't.
No, it's not worth it.
I don't think about that kind of crap. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna die when I die.
Yeah, so
it's like having a progression line.
Your
so
bone formation starts
at
at 6 months and stops between the ages of 13 and 18.
Right, that's
Which
growing
is-
pains and everything.
which is
Yeah,
still
you'll eventually
crazy
get to your
to me,
full
though.
height
Like-
and this and that. Yeah.
The fact that your bones just don't stop fully actually growing and doing whatever they need to do until like between those time frames.
Yeah, that's why old people do
What?
transfusions.
13 and 18.
That's why they get blood transfusions with young blood, because putting young blood in, that blood is still able to rejuvenate, where older blood doesn't have that rejuvenated
Which is
process.
crazy because our cells literally die off and change out
Yeah, I mean, there's that whole
every 14 days.
your
Or
outer
7 days, and then some take. So you have a few cells that last your whole life, and you have a few cells that only last 7 years and completely rejuvenate.
yeah. When it comes to our epidermis, we're not the same people from
No.
when we started.
No.
Like we're
You take a
probably
skin from,
5-10 cycles in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have rings, right? We should just literally have rings.
I think there's a way to tell how old people are.
There probably is. Like literally, like our bones, like just like most things. If you get to the skeletons, it's easy. You can tell based off its ringlets.
How old it is?
And I'm sure humans have the same kind of concept. We may not have actual ringlets like
Yeah.
trees, and there's a couple animals that do too. But like, I'm sure we have
How
some.
cool is it though that our iris and our fingerprints are completely unique?
That is pretty cool.
It's weird though, because when you look at a fingerprint,
Completely unique.
when you look at a fingerprint of somebody and you look at like two different people, you look at them and glance, they look really similar.
Yeah.
But then when you actually like go into the details of it, it's like, oh no, this one slightly curves like this and does this here, and this one twirls.
My
here,
fingerprint
does
definitely looks like a fingerprint.
Yeah, it looks like a fingerprint.
Or all these serial codes.
I mean, it is.
But it's just that, you got this completely unique identifier
Out of
for every
billions
human
and billions
being.
of people.
Although this fingerprint
And
right
the
here
same
is
with the
missing.
eyes.
Same. I got.
Like I have part of it, and then because I sliced this open,
Yeah.
the skin hasn't fully grown.
But
over
that
that,
makes it individual
and so I
to
just,
you.
I'm
Oh
missing.
yeah, that's interesting.
So that's why Men in Black they
Yeah.
burn their fingerprints.
Oh, which Men in Black did they do that in?
First one.
All of them.
They
Anyone-
burned their
yeah.
fingerprints off?
So therefore, they were never there.
Yeah.
It's easier to do their thing
Yeah.
in case some cop comes up later with some calamity shows up and they're like, oh, we need to wipe this place for fingerprints. They were never there. There's no fingerprints.
I don't remember burning their fingerprints off.
Yeah, they put on
That's
that
pretty
spear and he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, dude, kind of remember that.
It's comedic. That's why you don't really.
Okay,
I need to go back.
Men in Black is very deep, I think.
Is it?
Kind
But
of.
yeah, let's talk about aliens.
Yeah, like what?
I love
that
that.
Men in
Was
Black.
where Men in Black blew my mind. Have any of Men in Black where the world just like they finished the mission, blah blah blah. They
Zooms out and it's a marble.
Dude, yeah, that fucking blew my mind because it was like, who's to say we aren't just some? It's like Horton Hears a Who. Like we're just like some tiny microcosmic world.
That's the other place we're at. It's not just the Grinch.
And like outside of our universe is just some, you know, it's huge.
And they're in Whoville.
But it's
yeah.
It's the Who's in Whoville. Probably the same Who's.
Alright, sorry, continue.
Oh, the Grinch.
Well, the Whoville on the Grinch is in a snowflake.
Same.
Yeah,
Same with Whoville and Horton Hears a Who. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So it has
a
like
piece of dust.
Dust floating through it. It's just
Well, it landed on a dandelion. It was a
so
piece
it's
of
literally
dust.
just a piece of dust that we're going through. But when we meet them on How the Grinch, they were in a snowflake.
But we're infinite.
Because it was winter.
It's infinite though. So it's like even though we're inside of a marble, that person who has the marble is also inside of the marble. You know what I mean? Like it's like this.
Maybe.
I'm just saying if that
If you
thought
just kept
process
popping,
never
popping,
came into my
popping.
mind as an 8-year-old
Then my question then is,
or 5-year-old.
does it ever?
5
You said it's infinite, and which I know that my question is dumb.
Infinite.
It's
Infinite.
like
It's
there-
literally
Yeah, but there's a lot of different infinites. How
Yeah.
infinite do you mean?
How infinite can you think? How far can you think ahead of that?
Well, because as humans, we lack
Then we're a marble.
capacity and.
So it ends there.
Yeah.
It ends there. No, it's infinite. It goes on.
Oh, you're
When I
talking
say
about the
forever-
world itself. It's just that's not infinite because it's in a marble.
Wait, our world is a marble. We're just currently.
Because how infinite is infinite?
You know what's really trippy is that we
There's
do have
different
a
levels of
projection.
it.
Our galaxy, the reason why it has a spiral is because it is spiraling through the universe, and that we do have a projection, and that there at some point, billions of years from now, we will.
We're flying like a frisbee through space.
Yeah, we will intersect with another galaxy.
I know. I'm excited about that. I know I won't be alive, but I hope at least there's an energy floating through space or whatever we end up being.
Bro, if
I
we-
get to see that.
If we intersect with another galaxy, that's basically destruction.
I know.
That's the
Imagine
end of
that
it.
though.
It's like blowing dust into some more dust, and you seeing that like what happens there is what's gonna happen to us.
But the dust eventually settles.
This
And
is
there's
like-
still things
No,
in
but
it.
Yeah, so it's infinite. When I say infinite, that's the kind of thought.
Here's the thing though. So we have all these gravitational pulls and all this stuff, and we're in this perfect rotation, right? And that's the only reason we exist.
Yep.
And it's because of this perfect
There
thing.
is a center.
So if we do and another galaxy do with its gravitational and we now our gravity and their gravity's all thrown off, and it's just mass death for everybody on the planet.
I was like, even if we don't collide, even if they don't
Yeah,
actually collide
no.
into anything, it's the
Yeah.
fact
Because
that
if it
no
moves us away from the
gravitational
sun
pull
at
stop
all, or towards the sun at all, or dude, it's all done.
It's
And I
like-
wonder, I don't know if it would happen all at once or if it would. I think it would happen all at once, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, if you
The
think about
intersection,
this,
but everything is.
if you think about this, if we literally move an inch one way or the other,
Yeah,
we're
we're
screwed.
screwed.
So, like, even if we come into contact with another thing,
Well, you know,
would
we
it happen
slowed the spin of
instantaneously?
the Earth. We slowed the spin of the Earth. The Earth doesn't spin as fast as it used to.
Yeah, but that's not a
I don't
problem.
know that. I don't know that.
Yeah, well,
But it is a problem because
remember when
the day
we
cycle.
blew like
The day
100
cycle's
nukes?
longer and
And
shorter,
then
but like,
Yeah.
You remember when we blew 100 nukes into the atmosphere in order to blow a hole through it to see
I
if
didn't
we
know if that was a thing.
That was a thing.
That was an actual thing?
Yes, we tried to blow a hole in the atmosphere because we were just science. Like, let's see if we can blow a hole in. They shot like 100 nukes at the atmosphere, blew them up in the sky, and then the only result from that is that we slowed the planet's rotation by like 0.00038.
Yeah, I thought that would have been like destruction.
we
because
just
it's like our day cycles.
barely slowed, barely, but it was like, oh yeah, we slowed it.
When was this?
We slowed it. 60s, 50s,
Wow.
60s.
you know, the great time period of America where we were
Yeah, well, we just did whatever.
whatever the fuck we wanted to do. We just
Where we
did
made,
it.
we made a nuke and then we shot it in the desert and said, all right, guys, march toward it, see what happens.
I was reading
You've seen that footage, right, of like soldiers marching straight towards a nuke? Yeah, because we would make our soldiers, for science, we blew up a nuke in the middle of like Nevada desert, and they'd be like, okay, guys, we gotta test it out, just walk on in there.
See who dies first. It's like, oh, you
We're gonna
guys
see how
die.
much radiation.
Well,
we're
they
gonna-
weren't sure how
John
far
Wayne.
the radiation would actually shoot and
Yeah.
everything, so they were like, we just need to know what the test area is, and they were like, dead. Oh well, that's
There we go.
it, guys, stop.
And they just keep going.
It's like, okay, now we see how far it
Imagine
reaches.
the one soldier who's in the
So
back,
there is
like,
a
am
limit.
I still marching to
So
this?
yeah, there is a limit where there is like it's immediate death in an atomic blast.
No.
I was gonna say it's like
Because they were also they weren't walking in a straight line; they were walking in a horizontal. So it was like 30 of us this
Yeah.
way, walking that way.
oh, that's terrifying. Well, because it legit has caused so much damage to the deserts that they blasted that it's like the radiation in that area. It's unlivable. You can't live in this part.
It's like
portions
what
of
is it, Fukushima that finally after they cleaned.
I don't even know how they're still living there because
they are smart people. They fucking went and cleaned, and they've been sending old people to go do that consistently.
Well, there's other. You're thinking of like the nuclear. That may be true too, but I'm saying
meltdown.
Yeah,
that was a big deal. They handled it well. They handled it better than
Fukushima
Chernobyl handled theirs.
Yeah,
Chernobyl was a mistake,
and it's still bad to this day. Like people would go there like.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just saying,
definitely a lot better than it was.
Radiation is crazy, but lead is like obviously lead's worse. There's like other things that are worse than radiation, but there's people that have like there's people that have went to these desert sites. And
I just like saying mercury because it's a planet and an element.
Continue, sorry, Brandon.
I don't have anything. I felt like I had something intelligent to say.
Yeah, you were.
I know. John Wayne got cancer from filming on one of the test sites.
Well, why would he film on a test site?
Because the director was testing to see if the test site was actually still radiated. I guess I don't fucking.
What? That makes no sense.
The test on the test
That
site.
sentence was great.
Come on now.
The mercury thing though makes me like it brings it back to like the old English era where they're like thinking tomatoes were poison, which is why they would throw it at people in stockades and stuff like that.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
because
I thought it was because tomatoes were plentiful.
No, they would do it because
like, this is an easy thing to throw
they
at people.
wouldn't eat tomatoes because people literally thought if I just put tomatoes, like that's how they try to do assassinations and stuff like that. But if you actually put tomato on silver, it actually releases mercury and does all this other stuff, which is what would cause the people to die from it. But they just thought it was the tomato being poisonous.
So the fact that they have like serving on silver plates.
Yeah.
So the tomato would pull mercury from silver.
It would cause an acidic reaction, which would cause mercury.
The chemical reaction between this acids from the tomato and the
silver would cause mercury poisoning and everything, and just kill you.
Or unless the mercury was in the plates too, because mercury was in a lot of shit.
Mercury was in a lot of shit, but like the thing is. It had something to do with the acidic compound of the tomato, which is why later on they started throwing them at peasants in stockades because they thought it was poisonous. It was literally just, no, don't eat off that plate with a tomato, you crazy people. Because the reason we found this out later on is a cook.
That's interesting.
A cook tried to kill one of the, someone in France. It was during the French Revolution.
Yeah, the French Revolution.
Yeah, someone tried to kill one of the aristocrats by putting tomato in their soup. And being like, haha, I'm gonna kill this guy. And then he ate it. Spaghetti. Yeah, and then he ate it and it was fine. And the dude was like, he was supposed to be dead. It's like, because they still have that belief that tomatoes just were poisonous and killed you.
That's a really interesting tidbit.
So dumb.
I didn't know that. I like that a lot.
Is that why our beer tastes like tomatoes?
It's poison.
It's poison.
No, speaking of mercury, so
when did we stop using it? Because I remember as a child.
A while back.
I remember as a child we had there's still the mercury thermometers. I still think we still do.
Yeah, they're still around, but we stopped majorly using them probably around the 70s, 80s, something like that. I could be wrong, but like we still had them around, but I remember even as a kid that it would be like one of the local schools got shut down because a mercury thermometer broke.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, everybody out of class, out of school.
Yeah.
We gotta clean it up.
Yeah, in my high school, my buddy. Do you remember Jesse Campbell? Do you remember Jesse?
Yeah.
I don't know if
slightly.
So he and a buddy of his were in science lab one day and broke the thermometers and got the mercury. And they were like fucking playing with that shit.
Dude, I played with that shit when I was younger too.
Brought it to the lunch table and was just like, ooh, look at this shit. And then like they shut the school down. And then
mercury is really cool.
Dude, it's such a weird thing because
it's a liquid metal, man.
Yeah.
That boiling point is so high or so low that it's always liquidy.
Yeah.
But they were just playing with the shit and ended up, the kid went to the hospital and they got kicked out of school and. Yeah, bro.
So my question is, why did they get kicked out of school? Because as a child, that should have just been a learning experience.
It's high school, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like detrimental. They came back.
Even at that age.
I always thought, hey, this dude's like top tier, like he's genius level.
I was saying, until the age that you are told, hey, don't do that. Yeah. I think it should be a learning experience. Because like
I think
playing with mercury, no one ever told you learned about mercury. It was like, that's cool. Dude, no one told you, hey, don't fuck with mercury.
My dad did.
Like, your parents usually are the ones that tell you. But teachers should have been the ones telling you, don't fuck with mercury.
No, the parents teach the kids. The teachers teach certain things, but the parents are the ones that are supposed to instruct the children.
I don't know. I think the parents should just teach you how to be good people, and then your teachers teach you how to, apply that information.
I don't believe in. I don't believe that the kids should be taught by the state. That doesn't make sense. The children are not. There's that whole saying of like it takes a village, right? It does take a village, but guess what? The village isn't in charge of the kid.
What does it take a village to do to
raise a kid?
Yeah. But no, the thing is, the reason I say that it shouldn't be parents is because then we'll have an ungodly amount of ignorant, dumbass fucks running around here. Because if it's just the parents teaching from generation to generation, they're just going to teach them bad and stupid habits and things they shouldn't do, things that are not acceptable, that are just in the world.
I agree. That's what the whole village. If you get obviously that's what schools are outlined to be.
Well, see, that's what he said. He said it takes a village, but he says the village shouldn't be the one that's in charge.
And the village shouldn't dictate what your kid does and things.
Yeah.
No, the village probably shouldn't. Your parents should teach you. That's why I said I think parents should teach you how to be good people, while the schools teach you how to properly apply that. Like, teach you how to move forward in life. Your parents should teach you how to be good people. There's a difference.
Well, I taught myself.
Yeah.
I think that was well enough.
Sucks.
I think that did well enough. Is that I had teachers, I had social experiences, but when it came to learning and knowledge, I did it all myself.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what my school essentially was.
You guys essentially have the same school. And my school now is essentially what you guys are experiencing. You experienced before we did. Like now.
Imagine all these college kids that didn't have to just teach themselves.
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's all
because all of
this must be like at a loss.
You're forcing yourself to actually have to learn where we have to do that.
You guys have to learn how to teach.
I started doing that from 5th grade.
I just now had to start learning how to teach myself. But it's like no one else is gonna sit after class on this Zoom meeting. I mean, they can, but I'm gonna have to figure this shit out on my own. Because no one's sitting here next to me showing me how to do this stuff.
Learning math sucks because of that.
You have to learn.
That's why I hated geometry.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually like geometry. That was the only one that I liked. I hated algebra and I hated
teachers. You didn't have a meeting that you met with someone and they did.
Yeah, you're
or
right.
Did they have a video?
No,
exactly. Yeah, you need I
had books.
For math and stuff. You have to have.
We had books that someone said, "This is how you do this."
Yeah, I had a book and I had to reread it again and again and again until I got it.
Math is a language, dude. You have to have someone verbally telling you how to do this, showing you exactly how to do it, and then you do the problem. You need that.
I didn't have that. I liked algebra. I was really good at algebra.
I had
geometry. I hated geometry.
The difference between you and I is my school was a lot like you, but I did have someone I could be like, I need help. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I could ask my mom for help, but the thing is, she never went to college, so most of the time it was like, I don't know, man, read the book.
Dude, that's why I would ask my dad, because my dad was phenomenal at math, and I don't understand because he's self-taught entirely.